Hello everybody, my name is Josh Graff. I am the Sensor Solution Specialist for Air Hydropower. We are a Kentucky-based fluid power and automation component distributor. Today I'm going to be wearing my SICK Product Manager hat. We're going to be discussing one of their more advanced line scanners, the CLV650. This scanner has an oscillating mirror, an autofocus, some manual buttons up top. So we're going to be going over some of the features, some of the ways we can parameterize it, and kind of focus this more on a maintenance perspective on getting things back up and running, not a straight initialization perspective. So first we're going to talk about the SICK software. That is a free software from SICK that they use to parameterize and program a lot of their devices, both in the vision world, the sensors they're using that via link, some scanners and things like that. So this software is not unique to this device, but it is really handy and used here. Next, we're going to go over some of the manual setup. We're going to go over how to use the buttons on top and what they do and what you can do with them. And then just some general best practices at the end, where to find the information that I'm talking about today, and then just a few little physical pointers. So without further ado, got a demo here set up. This is 650. I've already connected this to the SICK software and am communicating. So when you open up a project, this is what it's going to be. This is what it's going to look like. You got your tree up here in the top left corner. This is the quick start page here. That's going to show you the cycles that it's going through. It's going to give you a percentage evaluation from the barcode it's looking for. You can tell it what kind of codes we're looking for specifically, and then there's also a wizard. Further down, there's in the parameters drop-down menu here, there's a lot more in-depth control and parameterization of the device. I'm not going to go through all of this. I'm going to strictly use the wizard today, but for the autofocus or focus control, you can do a manual focus or autofocus. The hysteresis and the default position, how far out the focus needs to be, the oscillating mirror, how far you want it to oscillate, as well as how quickly and things like that. So today we're just going to be showing off the wizard and going through that. I'm going to go ahead and throw a barcode over here, and we'll start reading that. Okay, so 70% from where I got it right now. That's not horrible, but it's not great. It can be better. You can see it's getting the good quality read of the, that's what the actual code says. So if I go in here to auto setup, it's going to turn it off of its continuous read there. It's going to illuminate its zero position of the line. You can kind of see that in the top right corner here of this camera. Let me move this window over here so we can see that. Okay. And that's going to tell you where the zero position of the read is. So I'm going to try to center the barcode at that position. That's going to be the optimal position for the device. You can see it's reading pretty well already at that, but maybe 63% is kind of bouncing around. So you're going to go down these three buttons here. So first it's going to adapt code configuration. Here it's just going to be looking for the code and then specify which code it's looking for. So code 128, obviously. Here we're going to pull in the focus. This will deactivate autofocus. If you want to do that, you can do that. This will put it more into a fixed focus, allow you to read quicker, and get a better read most of the time. See, we're already jumping up to 100%. And then optimize scan frequency will range the device from 600 hertz to I believe 1,000 hertz to see how quickly it can run and still get quality reads. So this might take a second to see. It's running up to 950, 1,000, and it's happy at 1,000. So full speed ahead. The device likes it. So we'll hit next here. This is checking the results of the setup. It's good. And 100% reads all the way. So a nice option there. It'll go back into its oscillating here. It's nice, this graph here. You can also see a history of the reads that it's getting, so on and so forth. So I'm going to turn that autofocus back on. just for the, you can see it changed to 357 millimeters based on how I have it set up here. So I'm gonna turn that autofocus back on. Okay, so it still has the default position at 357 millimeters. Its hysteresis is plus or minus 50 millimeters, so it'll be autofocusing through those distances, and that's good. So that's kind of a crash course on what the actual SICK software looks like. I'm going to show you how we can get most of those parameters changed based on the buttons on the back of the device here. So let me get set up here for that. Okay, so I'm back here. I have the device a little bit more set up so you can see the buttons on the back. You can see the 4 buttons, or 5 LEDs, 6 LEDs here, based on ready, result, laser, data, can, and link. The link is obviously your data, or you're getting information back and forth. Ready is the status of the device. It's not blinking, it's ready. Result and data, result is saying it's actually reading a code. Data is saying that it's actually getting the information from the code. The laser going on and off there at whatever hertz that is, at some frequency, is when the laser is actually doing its oscillating and it's actually visible. So below all of those, and let me get this to refocus here just to make sure we can see that. Below each of those main options are the actual menu that we can use to cycle through and change the parameters. So there's 2 buttons here. We're going to call this the left facing arrow, or your enter button, and the right facing arrow here. So the left facing arrow here, or the return button, you're going to hold that for 3 seconds to get into the menu, and you'll hear the device have an ascending tone there, and the ready LED begins to blink. That signifies that we are now changing. Now underneath the ready, you can see it has read DIAGN. That's going to allow that status bar that's next to these buttons here, the status bar here, to populate and show you a physical quality of the read. That's, we can obviously already see via SOPAS, but again, you might not always have a computer handy. So it went away after so long it will get out of the menu. So let me get back in that menu. I'll hold this button for 3 seconds again. Okay, you can see that's blinking. And now the right facing arrow will change which menu item you want to go to. The return button, or your enter button, will get you into that parameter. So I'm going to hit that. So now the ready button is reading at a higher frequency, and the laser is no longer oscillating. It's at its 0 degree position, but you can see there it's fluctuating between 90, 80, and 90% with each LED on that graph here representing 10%. So you can see the quality of the reads. To get out of there, we'll hit this enter button again. That's good. We're back. We're still blinking in the ready, so we can cycle through the menu. This right-facing button here will take us through the menu. Teach in underneath result here. This is just going to teach in the type of code. It's not going to change the focus or anything. So it might be relevant for you. It's not relevant for this because we're looking for 3 codes anyways. The auto setup is basically going to run the device through the wizard that we just did. So I'm going to run this device through this. It is now in there. Now it will cycle through the 3 settings that we just went through in the SOPAS software, looking for a specific type of code, setting the optimal read distance via the autofocus, and then the hysteresis around that. And then it will be going through scan frequency based on the quality of the reads it's getting. You're going to see it bounce around here because it's going to be changing its autofocus and changing its scan frequency and finding the line of which it doesn't like. You can see that the graph next to the buttons here on the actual device is lit up as it's going through its cycle to show you that it's getting 100% quality reads, and that's reflected also over here in the SICK software. So two just kind of mirrored indicators there. And here we are. There was a audio beep there to let us know that it's through its process and it has set up properly. We're still in the menu here, so we can still cycle through everything. The last option we have here is called adjusting. This is underneath data. What this does is this is going to take out half of the reading width of the line scanner to help you better center the barcode in the reading area there. So not necessary for this, especially after you've already done the auto setup to kind of adjust your barcode or adjust your scanner best for your application. So that's how to use those two. That's how to activate this diagnostics thing up here. Lastly, I'll show you where to get some of this information that we're talking about. Here is the website that I'm using. Let me pull this up here on my side. So this is the scanner I'm using today. This is just me typing in the part number that's written on the side of the scanner. The easiest way to do that is these 7 digits right here. So 1042125 into the SICK website, sick.com. They have a ton of information here under technical details. This is just kind of top level information. It's not going to be any of the parameter information that we were just discussing. Underneath downloads here, the second tab, you'll find a literature tab or drop down menu. And this is where we're going to get a lot of that information. Specifically here under operating instructions, this is the full operating instructions for the CLV63, 64, and 65 series scanners. That's indicated here. And this has just great information. It's a great document if you're on a computer, even if you have to pull it up on your phone. Nice table of contents. You can easily get into any information that you're looking for. So here, if I want to go to commissioning, I can tap on this commissioning icon, and it will take me directly to the commissioning section. And this is basically what I just discussed, using the SICK software, as well as some indications down here, what the indicating lights mean, everything else. A few other best tips. I will change here. If you're going to be mounting these, we don't want to be mounting the scanners at a full 90-degree angle looking directly down at a barcode. We really want that to be offset by 15 degrees. The reason for that being is a lot of these barcodes are made out of, they're sticker, they're shiny, they're very reflective, and that can send a lot of light back into the scanner, and too much light and kind of drown out its reading, and you can miss reads at that point, which is not great. So 15 degrees is the magical number in terms of scanning, mounting angle. And then the last thing I want to mention is when you go to clean these, and this is true for any photoelectric camera, scanner, small photo eye, a LiDAR scanner or anything. We really want to be using actual lens wipes. And if you work in the industrial environment, I'm sure you can attest if you've tried to clean your safety glasses with your shirt, with greasy hands, or just your breath, versus if you've actually used an alcohol wipe that's designed to clean plastic and glass lenses. So this is another big area where we can see where people start to get bad reads. They think the camera's gone bad, but that's because they were taking an oily rag and wiping off the front of the sensor and not using an actual lens wipe with alcohol to clean the lens. So Air Hydropower's line card will be in the description of this video, as well as my contact information, as well as links to this product and the SICK website for where to find the rest of this information. If you have any questions, reach out to us in any capacity, to me directly. And I look forward to working with you all. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.